Okay, so today's show is sponsored by artist-performer Khail Brown. I hope I'm saying that name right because I'm just calling him Khail. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in music from Post University in Long Island, and he has gone on to become one of the tri-state area's hottest artists. Khail has an incredible singing voice and has mastered numerous instruments, which I can't wait to hear what they are. He lives by the quote, "Put God first and you won't ever be second." Khail can be found on Twitter at Natty Spence, here to talk to us about his new Dahlias is Khail Brown. Woo!
What's going on?
Hey, Khail, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
And I apologize. Is it Khail? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Khail.
Khail Brown.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your name, that's a great name, Khail. It's very trendy.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So, what's going on today?
A lot, man.
A lot?
A lot. Yeah, I just been working, man.
So I have to first ask you, I know that you are very talented at singing, never mind, aside from singing, which is awesome, but you also play so many instruments. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how you got started doing that?
Well, I really wouldn't call myself a singer per se.
Okay.
But, well, I started playing drums in church actually, which I still do. So I started playing drums in church, and then I branched off to a little bit of keyboard. Then I branched off into bass guitar. So. And
you were playing all by ear. Did you read music back then, or?
Well, actually, yeah, when I started playing drums, like a couple months after that, I joined the middle school band. I started when I was like 12, 13. Yeah, I know.
So wait, how old are you? Like 18?
Who, me? Nah. Well, I just turned 26 in November, so.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm still
right.
young.
All right, so middle school is still fresh in your mind.
Yeah, right, that's crazy.
I have a son who's in the middle school jazz band, and he asked me to write him a note, and he said, "Mom, write me a note and tell the lady I don't want to be in it anymore." But now I'm going to tell him, watch Khail and the interview I did with him, and you're going to stay in that jazz band if it's the last thing you do.
Yeah, he should definitely stick with it, because honestly, my sister, she's actually here now, but she was in the band before me, and I don't know, I saw the rehearsals and the pep rallies, and it's like on Saturdays, so I'm like, man, I kind of like my Saturdays, so that was kind of the reason why I guess I wasn't trying to join the band.
Right.
But my mom was like, you should just learn to read, just do it. I was like,
well, like you had the music, and when you're musical, you just are, so you kind of, there's something that's still drawing you that way.
Exactly.
Even though as a middle schooler, you try to fight that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm glad I did it and I stuck with it. So
right, that's really good. And do you like writing music more than performing, or what's your?
You mean as far as like production?
Yeah.
It's funny. I was thinking about this too.
Oh, you were? That's funny.
Let me see.
Great minds think alike.
Exactly. So I actually like putting the music together. Like that's my love. You know what I mean? Production. Right. Composition.
Right. Like mixing all the different sounds and music.
Like playing all the different sounds, you know
right.
what I mean? Like laying down the bass line, putting the drums together, whether it's live or we're using MIDI.
Right.
MIDI.
What is MIDI?
MIDI is musical.
It's like me not knowing football. It's the same kind of thing.
I believe it stands for musical instrument digital interface.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like you have a keyboard and you could change the sound. So this could be a trumpet.
Right.
The sound. Yeah. So
right.
That's MIDI. So yeah.
And so you don't actually play the instruments, record the music, and then mix them together. You just do it all digitally.
Sometimes, yeah. I have some tracks where I actually do play the bass live, where I play drums live, and some not so much. Some, just got the drum pads and
right.
knock it out like that.
And where do you perform? Is it just all?
Well, so far, yeah, because as far as me being an artist, this is like kind of fresh to me. You know what I mean? So I think I've only been doing this for about like maybe 3 years or so.
Right.
Like maybe 4 or 3 years.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm kind of just getting my feet wet. I performed at a couple places.
How was it? Were you like nervous, or you're like, I don't know if this is for me?
No. Like it was crazy because you know how like you kind of picture yourself doing something so much.
Yes.
And even sometimes like, when I'm home alone or even just in the shower or something, like I'm you know what I mean, I'm practicing, like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's like it's just a part of you.
Yeah, exactly. So when I actually performed for the first time, it felt like I did it already. So you know, and I had the band behind me and everything. It was dope.
And what and can you tell me about your new video that you have out?
Oh, Dahlias?
Yes, I love that name.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So the dahlias is a flower that's indigenous to Mexico, and it's funny because I had a video breakdown about this too, but it was a little lengthy. It was like 20-something minutes. But
okay.
I'll just give you the short version.
Give me the short version. That sounds good.
So the dahlias represent whatever it is that you love and that you cherish and that takes time to grow. So it's like a flower. So you got to nurture it. You got to spend time with it. You know, you got to really invest a lot of time and energy into it, just like a flower.
Right.
So
so that's how you came up with that.
Not exactly. It happens to also be the name of my ex.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't think I like that name that much anymore.
Oh man.
What is she, crazy? You're so handsome. What'd she leave you for?
No. We're live, right? This is live.
Yeah, there's no editing here.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, so she's definitely, the song isn't about her. I just want to make that clear too. The song isn't about her.
Okay.
But of course, you know, she has some influences in the song because that was the last previous relationship I came out of. Right. So yeah, so pretty much I was, and the dahlias for me, they represent music because, and I explained this too in the video, if I'm not with a model, and the models had name, the models had names, so one of them was named Rosie, other one was named Violet. And when I wasn't with one of the models, I was with something musical. So that goes to say that, you know, everybody has, or everybody knows that popular thing, you know, roses and violets, but then you say dahlias, it's like, wait, what? Like, what's that?
Right. You know, you're right. It's unusual, but it's also such a pretty name, even though I don't like your ex. Whatever.
My ex.
Don't tell her I don't like her.
I mean, she'll probably find out sooner or later.
All right. So what do you think about staying independent or getting signed by a label? Do you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, for the longest, I didn't want anything to do with major labels, but I think it just depends on what you ultimately want to do. I mean, you could definitely go the independent route and still be successful. Right. And I've not that I've seen, but from like artists that I've listened to, I saw them go to like major labels and still maintain their brand. And you know, the major labels is kind of like a partnership more so than like an umbrella over them. You know what I mean? So I think it just depends on what you ultimately want to do. And
is it hard to stay when you are independent and you're not with a label? Is it hard to get your music out there, or you know, or is it really is just the same? Like or is there not much of a difference?
To be honest, I
don't want to mess you up by having you give a bad answer, but
well, I would say I think it's harder to do it when you're independent because you're pretty much your own boss. You know what I mean? You're like building your team. You're doing the entire process. You know what I mean? But not necessarily you by yourself. You know, you got to build your own team. You got to have people that you could trust, put them in place. Things of that nature, you know? Right.
So you still have to stay. You still have to have your whole thing, your whole package together, even when you're independent.
Yeah.
So what else do you have going on that you want to tell us about?
Well, let me see. So I think the two biggest things right now is I'm working on my album. So I would say that should be released, I want to say late summer. Right. I don't have a date for that yet. And I say around Valentine's Day, if not maybe a little bit before, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, we won't. So so the Dahlias song should be out on iTunes. Okay. Oh, that's exciting. Wow. So and does that mean it's on Spotify? Well, yeah, that's how I want to do it. I want to put it on iTunes, Spotify, and a couple other places. Yeah. And do you have to do that? Do you have to get in touch with them to do it, or it just kind of happens when they? Oh no, I have to do that. Right. Yeah, like even the video and everything. Like yeah, that was all. Right. You have to. Right. So you really have to be proactive for your own career and getting the word out about your music and what you're doing. Yeah. It's a big job. Yeah, it is. But it's when you're passionate about it, I assume you're like, yeah, whatever. Exactly. It's so fun. Let's work, man. Like, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but I woke up at like 5-something and I felt great. So, you know what I mean? Like, this is what it takes. Right. So you listen to your music if you're like, you know, at home, or you listen to other people's? Sometimes I only listen to my music after I just got done recording it.
Right.
But for the most part, I listen to other people's music.
Who do you like these days?
I listen to a lot of J. Cole. I like Wiz Khalifa actually.
You do?
Yeah,
He's a big guy now, right?
He's dope, yeah. And even like for me, Pac is like the greatest. I used to listen to Pac all the time.
That's who you listened to when you were young.
Yeah, growing up, I listened to a lot of Pac, a lot of Jadakiss, Fabulous. Even though Fabulous is very much underrated. I'm not sure if you know Fabulous, but
I know the name.
Yeah,
I'm up on some names.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm up on like exactly what their music is.
It's cool. It's cool. Well, if you heard the name, then you're doing something right.
Yeah, hopefully.
Nah, you got it.
But so do you listen to any other genres or just...
Oh, of course. Man, when I was in college, we were drilled in jazz and Latin and classical too. So I was in concert band, and I didn't have any formal training up until college.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of my peers, they had lessons from they were God knows how.
Right, so they're like 2 or something.
Yeah, and me, I was just like, well, I grew up playing by ear, you know,
right.
church, and just like I had the chops, but I didn't have the technique.
Right.
So I was drilled in jazz and Latin and classical, and
that's great.
It was intricate, yeah.
Did that help in creating your music today? All of that?
Definitely.
And when you were playing in college, what'd you play? What instrument?
I played, well, as far as jazz band went, I played drum set.
Oh, right. You had said you like drums.
Yeah, it's cool. So we did drums, and then for classical, I did percussion. And our percussion, you're talking about like, I don't even know how much percussion instruments there are.
Right.
You got timpani, you got marimba, you got xylophone, you got vibra snap, you got clave, and they all have different techniques.
Right.
So, man, I remember times in rehearsal, I would get called out because the clave didn't sound right, or you know what I mean?
Oh man, it's so technical.
I'm sitting there like, bro, I don't even know how to really play this clave, but you know.
I'm sorry I don't have one of those in my cooler to show everyone what it is, but
sorry, I just took it as a learning process, though. You know what I mean? Because it definitely increase my musicianship, and you know, just the caliber of the musician that I am.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And Khail, where can people find you on social media?
Oh, my Instagram is _real_Khail. So the real Khail with underscores in between the words. And my Twitter is also the same thing. Oh, there you go.
All right, there they have it up for us. Okay, cool. And Khail, it was so great of you to be here today.
Thank you for having me.
Sponsor. It was awesome.
I really appreciate it.
And it was really fun talking to you. And tell that ex of yours she's an idiot.
Oh my God.
Before you go, I have to give you a cookie.
Oh yeah.
It's chocolate covered Oreo. All right, my friend makes them. You can order them.
This is nice.
Yeah, it's good. It tastes good. Khail, thanks so much. And thank you again to all my guests today. It was so fun having everybody here on the cooler. And you can find me at Rebecca Berman TV on Twitter. You can find me Rebecca.Berman on Instagram and RebeccaBermanTV.com. Facebook, Rebecca Berman, and thank you so much for being in the cooler with me today.